All right, let's bring her in. She is the former host of the Mouthing Off podcast. She is a multi-time guest on this show, but it's been a while since we've had her on. Let's bring her in. It is Olivia Caridi. Olivia,
Hey.
how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on with you?
Okay, first off, we got to get talking about the Mouthing Off podcast. I'm going to take a guess here on what year you ended it, and I'm thinking, don't tell me.
Okay.
Was this pre-COVID that you stopped podcasting, or was it after?
No. It was like mid-COVID.
Okay. And that's what it was.
Do you want me to answer? I actually kind of have to think.
Was it?
I think it was 2021.
Okay. So you had gone through all of 2020 of COVID when it started in March. So you decided in 2021?
Yeah. If I remember correctly, it was halfway through grad school that I stopped it. So it would make sense if it was 2021 that I stopped. Yeah.
Now, I honestly can't remember the last time you were on this podcast. I'm trying to think. I think it might have been pre-COVID or it might have been during COVID. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I mean, this is my weekly podcast that I do every Thursday. This is episode 421. So
wow.
I would have to I just had my 8-year anniversary. I started on December 6th of 2016.
Wow.
December
That's
4th.
Crazy. Oh, I
can't believe I've been doing this 8 years.
I was talking about you the other day, and of course, I can't remember the situation, but I was sure
this was great.
No, I just was saying it's been so long since I've talked to Steve. Oh, yeah. It was at Emma and Liv's Christmas party.
Oh, they're big fans of me.
To Charlene, and I was saying I hadn't talked to Steve in so long, so this is good. And then you reached out, so I brought it into the universe. Yeah.
3 people who are big fans of me.
It was all good stuff, believe it or not.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to get to, because I don't even know this answer, because like I said, it's just been a while since you and I've talked. We text here and there if something comes up.
Yeah.
But what are you doing work-wise now?
Yeah. So I work in beauty now. So I am essentially a digital marketing manager.
Oh, okay.
I call it like a Procter and Gamble. So I work at a company called Cow that owns a bunch of beauty brands. And I specifically work on John Frieda, Biore, and Band deodorant. So I handle digital marketing on top of those 3 brands. So I'm a busy gal, very busy.
Do you still do influencer stuff? Do you still do ads and promotions and get money on the side for that?
Not really. No. No, it's actually funny. It's funny. I got offered to do I do have a manager still. I don't even know if we're on a contract anymore. I think we're just such good friends now that he'll occasionally reach out to me with stuff. But he said, I know you love to travel, and this cruise company reached out offering a free cruise if you post one time on your timeline. Come on, do this. And I am such a POS that I have totally let it fall through the cracks, and I have not actually planned this free freaking cruise. That's how little I am investing into caring about this stuff.
Where would the cruise be going? Where is the cruise to?
It's funny. I let it lag for so long. Initially the offers were not that Mexico is not cool. Well, first of all, I'm not a cruise person as it is, which is why I was not that drawn to it. But there were some very cool Europe destinations that I hadn't been to that I thought, okay, this is a really cool opportunity. And I don't know if those got booked up quickly or whatever. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, I would go to Europe, probably a chance to go to Hungary, or I don't know, whatever. There was a river cruise that I thought was kind of cool. I don't know. So I don't know if I'm even going to jump at it, but I just don't really love cruise. I went on one cruise and I remember just not really loving it. So
was that, just out of curiosity, was that a cruise that you went on like with your family, or
Yeah.
was that like a girls trip cruise?
No, it was with I remember it was my mom, grandma, sister, and I think it was actually like a Mexico. We went to Belize and it was beautiful, but I gained a ton of weight because it's just like the all you can eat. I couldn't drink at the time. I was young, but like all the people are just peeing in the pool, and then you're just kind of like locked on a boat the whole time. And I don't know. I just wasn't really.
Well, that was my next question was this like when you were of age? But this sounds like you when you were like
No, I was a teenager. Yeah. So it wasn't even like I could like nothing. So maybe I would like it more if it was like all inclusive margaritas or something like that. But no, it's just.
So this is like you were playing shuffleboard on that cruise with the old folks.
Literally, and just eating plates of French fries over and over again, which did not help, my waistline. So I could do without.
Now, do you, just out of curiosity, do you miss podcasting? Have you ever thought about getting back into it, or just you don't have the time to do it now with this job that you have?
So I totally miss it, but I barely have time in my life with the job that I have to do my laundry. So I miss it all the time. I love when people bring it up. It's so sweet to have people, say they miss the podcast still to this day. I have a good friend who's very big in the true crime space. And I remember we took a call once, me and my best friend, Brandy. This was like 2 years ago or so, but they were pitching this true crime show. And I remember thinking, okay, maybe I could somehow pull like a weekly true crime. I think I was getting burned out on reality TV, but maybe I could do true crime because I love that. That's what I listen to. That's my topic. But then they said, oh, we want it to be a daily. And I said, no, I could not do that. So all that to say, I miss it so much. I still consume many podcasts. I listen to many, and I think I could do it better. But, but yeah, I don't see it in the cards for me on my current trajectory.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, like you and I kind of started right around the same time. I think you started literally 6 months or less after me. Yeah, 2017. And I started December of 2016. Because I remember you were one of the ones right after I had started. I was like, okay. And
March of
17. With that said, one of the first former contestants to do it.
Yeah.
Not many people were doing it back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you about that I haven't caught up on, back in the day, this would have been right around the time that you and I met, was the whole thing going on with a house in Nashville. I know we're probably way past this.
Oh,
whatever happened to it? Is your mom living there?
Yeah, my mom lives in it now.
Okay, so she does. For some reason, I thought she moved back to Austin or something.
She's actually in the process, of course, of sorry if you heard that. I'm still working and I just got a chat. My fault. So yeah, she lives in it now with her boyfriend. Okay. And so we still get to visit the house, and it's so cool what's been done with it. I mean, and when we look at photos of when it was first like a little rectangle versus what it is now. And then she is in the process of moving back to Austin. We've loved Nashville, but I think she's just ready to kind of move back to Austin. So so I think it will go on the market if anyone is interested, but it's not yet. So,
and your sister is either engaged or married?
She's married.
Definitely engaged. Okay, she did.
My sister is married. Yep. I married her. I always say that, and people are like, "Wait, what?" I am an ordained reverend minister or whatever. So I married them in a civil ceremony, December of 2022.
Okay.
They had their 1-year anniversary in April of this year. So yeah, okay. So oh my God, I'm so bad. It was 2023 then. Oh my God, I'm so bad at this. Basically, I married them. They had a really cute civil ceremony in Brooklyn Heights where my dad's side of the family lives, so that like my 98-year-old grandmother could come and see them get married. And then they had this amazing wedding, like 2 hours outside of London in Somerset, UK. And I basically was like, I can never get married because I can't top this. It was just the coolest wedding in the entire world. It was epic. So I can't touch it. I can't touch marriage at all, or at least a wedding.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's married off.
So yeah, because I know I've seen that on your Instagram stories over the years, but I didn't know when it was, and I knew she had gotten engaged, just remembering that from pictures, but I didn't know.
Yeah. And I love her. I mean, her husband is like one of my best friends. He's the most amazing guy in the world. So she nailed it. Well done. He nailed it too. I mean, they're great together. So
here is the other thing that I noticed. There's a big thing in your life that that I've noticed on your Instagram.
Pickleball.
I don't know if it was what was in the water on your season of The Bachelor with Ben. Now there are at least 2 prominent people from your season that are just obsessed with pickleball. And that is JoJo, who posts all the time. Jordan can't stop posting about how JoJo just plays pickleball all day long.
Yeah.
And now you are just queen pickleball.
Yeah.
So tell me first off, how did it start? And how serious are you into that? I'm sure you're in a league or something like that.
Oh, right? Yeah. So what happened was, actually, this will be a Bachelor connection. So I'm really close friends with Brett Vergara, who everyone knows was the big Bachelor live tweeter. He has since kind of distanced himself, but I call him my hobby friend. Like, he finds a hobby and he just dives, right? So he kind of found pickleball, and he also loves to enter these giveaways on Instagram and stuff. So I think it's called the APP, the something Professional Pickleball Association, or I don't know what it is, but they offered, because there it is they play the US Open up in the tennis. They also have a professional pickleball tournament. And he got picked to have 2 VIP passes to the tournament 2 years ago. And he said, "Liv, will you come with me?" And I thought, okay, it's whatever. The drinks are free. I'll go. Sure. And so I take the train up to Arthur Ashe Stadium, and I'm like, I don't even know what this sport is. And all I know is I don't even know if he's still a pro, or if he listens to this, brother, you changed everything for me. But there was this singles men's match, and it was this guy, they called him Wolf. And he was one of these players that just after every point was yeah, and screaming to himself, every point matters. And Brett and I were just sitting there what is happening right now? And I was like, do I love this sport? I'm not sure what's happening right now.
And this is your first pickleball match you've ever seen in your life. Okay.
Just brother is losing his mind. But anywho, so that was my introduction. But then the match was incredible. It was insane. So anyway, then I found this app called Conquer, where you can just pay. It's gotten a bit more expensive because nothing's free in New York. But at the time, 2 years ago during the summer, it was $5 for 2 hours in New York. And there was this random park on the Lower East Side. And I would just go literally 5 days a week. I would just pay $5 and I would go out and I would play. And I did play tennis growing up. So the hand-eye coordination is there. And I just fell in love with the sport. I love that I can be as good as the boys, if not better. There's a lot of sports where I feel I couldn't confidently play 3 dudes and be yeah, I'm gonna whoop you. But in this sport, I can. And I'm very injury prone. I feel it's a lot less difficult on my body than volleyball used to be. I'm freaking obsessed with this sport. I play constantly. It's gross. Yeah.
Now, I'm familiar with it. I haven't played it yet.
Okay.
But is it better to play 2-on-2? There's not a lot of, every time I see it, it's not a lot of 1-on-1, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it can be, obviously.
doubles is, I would say, more prominent.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's what I see. So when you pay $5 to go to a park, are you just teaming up with a random person saying, "Hey, let's team up and play"? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I was playing that 2 years ago, it got to a point where it was like the same people playing every day, to the point where, like, I'm so lucky. I have grown the most insane group of friends through pickleball. Like, some of my best friends in the city I met through pickleball. It's unbelievable. So it was the same people showing up all the time, meaning, like, yeah, I'm on a court with someone new maybe once in a while, but then it was like, oh, I'm going to play with Brandon, who I know his game well, or whatever. Or, like, there's even girls that I'm like, I'm afraid to play with her because she's so damn good, but I want to play with her because she's going to make me better, or whatever. So I love playing with random people I've never met, or I love, like, saying, hey, bud, let's improve our game together. I know you well, or something. So this game, I know I'm dramatic. I posted about it the other day. I'm like, this is like changed my life. Like, it's literally changed my life. I'm obsessed with this sport. I love it so much. You
somehow need to play JoJo 1-on-1.
I would love to. I honestly would love. And the thing I say about, like, singles is, like, Brett and I will play singles sometimes. It is hard. Obviously tennis is like, the court is much larger. There's a reason I don't play singles tennis. I understand it's much more arduous, but even just singles pickleball, I'm like, okay, it's a little too much sweating for me. Thank you. Too much court to cover. Thank you. So,
but even singles, when I watch doubles pickleball, really the only running you need to do is just back, because your side that's covered just got to move side to side, essentially.
Totally.
And it's not.
What I just think, like, what I love the most about it is just, like, the quickness of the hands. Like, it's really improved, I think, just like my overall reaction times, my side to side reaction times. But then I do get my little volleyball in there too. Like, when I get to slam, I don't know. Everyone always is like, watch out when Olivia gets the ability to slam. I don't know if it's just like the same movement as like a hit in volleyball, but I just, like, it's going to hit the ground, So it's like, I get the mix of everything. Don't get me talking about pickle, or everyone's going to drop. Everyone's going to be like, I don't care about pickle. I love this sport so much.
Well, the other thing was, and I don't even remember, again, I've lost track of time and years, was you were, like, big, like you mentioned earlier, in volleyball, and you were playing in volleyball leagues on the weekends, or during the week. But then I remember you got injured, right? You had a big knee brace on for a while, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, what happened was, I probably need to get a bone density scan. I have gotten 2 stress fractures in my body. So I had 2 in my back. My first one was in high school playing volleyball, on one side of my L5, which is like where your dimple is on your back kind of thing. And then I had one on the other side. And I think it was like the torque of playing volleyball. Definitely, like, my form is not great. So volleyball's been tough on me. And then I actually last summer had a stress fracture in my left hip. And so I think volleyball is just, like, it's just too much on my body, which is why I'm like, thank God for pickle, because I can still move and, like, be active. Although I did sprain my ankle playing pickleball last summer, right after getting the green light to start playing after my hip injury. But volleyball is just tough. My sister's in a league, and she asked me to sub for her last week, and I, like, hurt for days. I was like, I think I'm just I don't know. It's just too hard on my body now. Yeah.
No, it's it's a giant craze. Obviously, they've got it's being televised on ESPN, tournaments like that. Like, it's a big deal now. I get it. I just haven't. I get the haters. I get it. It's fine. It's fine. I don't care if you think it's stupid, it's fine. I don't. No, I don't find it stupid. I just haven't gotten into it. For me, For a while there, I had torn my Achilles, and I'm
That's
just
awful.
that action, sideway action, just wasn't in the cards for me for a while. And
Oh
then,
my gosh, how do you even recover that? Jeez.
yeah, it was rough for about
gosh, awful.
6-9 months.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to this. What do you think of Grant's season coming up? No, I'm kidding. I know you don't. You probably don't even know who Grant is.
Do I have thoughts on that? I do know who he is.
You do? Okay.
Okay, hold on a minute. He came from, oh God. The most recent Bachelorette was
Jen. Come on. Jen. Did you watch Jen's season?
Jen. I did watch Jen. Yes.
Okay, I was going to say, what's the last season of the show that you've watched?
I did watch Jen. I was in and out of Golden Bachelorette. I watched like the first few, and then I watched the finale. So I don't have a lot of like internal thoughts on that one. But I did watch Jen. Yes.
What'd you think of Devin?
What a woo. That's a wild one.
Yeah. But I mean, good for her. She got herself on Dance with the Stars.
I mean, look, he did all the right things, right? Like he did what you wanted as a lead. You know, you want to be I can't think of the word right now, but you want the one that's I'm here.
You want to be love bombed is what he did.
Right. I think it's the more shocking thing has just obviously been like the post-show behavior, and not even the post-show breakup behavior, but like the post-show post-breakup behavior.
Yeah.
Like his responses to even social media posts like now are just so to me. Like it's very weird.
Yeah.
Take the L, you know, like even with my season, like for example, for the reunion or whatever, not the reunion, the tell-all, like, did I feel like was I owed an apology 1,000 times? Yes. But did I accept that like I wasn't going to get them? Did I just say, I'm going to have to just suck this up and like take the L like a lot? Yes. That's what you have to do sometimes. Like, just take it.
Yeah, it's almost like he's leaning into being the villain and enjoying it, but it's not coming across like he thinks it is, where he's just like, that's me. He's just being rude online is what he's doing.
If you are someone who like, you know, genuinely doesn't care what people think about you, like honestly, sometimes I'm kind of jealous of you, but like to the point where you just like don't care about people's feelings, then I'm like, I don't really vibe with that. So that's the difference to me, is like, cool that if you are just like so strong that you don't care if the entire world thinks that you're kind of a dirtbag, like, woo, I certainly cared. But I also think like you can speak about people respectfully, your situation respectfully. Like it's more of the flip of the switch that's crazy, which like, you know, I'm not going to armchair expert this, but like that kind of narcissist behavior of like, I went from being so into you to like, I don't care about you in like a matter of seconds. It's very weird to me. That's what's weird. I'm going to propose, or I guess he didn't propose, but he would have kind of thing, right? To like, bam, it's bizarre.
Well, you and I have talked about this over the years because you were, you know, quote unquote, a villain on your season. Devin, clearly, the thing with Devin was he wasn't a villain on his season. Well, I shouldn't say that, because there were people that called him out. There was a group of other villains that people didn't like.
Yeah.
There were certainly people that didn't like him as well. But in terms of how it ended for him, he clearly wasn't the villain at the end, in the end story, because he, you know, love bombed Jen to death, and he became the guy that she picked.
Yeah.
But his villainy was you know, after the fact. And then your villainy on the show didn't have to do with the way you treated people. It just had to do with silly things you said in an ITM that people, you know, take it so seriously. And it's just like, if you say anything funny, oh, you're not being serious about finding love. It's just like, Can we tap the brakes a little bit? It's not that big of a deal. It's a silly reality.
I was so serious about finding love, you guys. Oh my God. I've never been more serious.
Yeah, like the ITM where you were like doing a news report, like it was just like within the confines of the show.
The most fun I had the whole time too. That was like a dark day where I was just so bored, and they were like, "Do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Fine, sure.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like it's so silly, and it's like not to be taken seriously.
Yeah, no.
But in the confines of this show, the fan base just can't accept that. And it's just,
I know.
When you know, the thing is, from your season, we've had so many people act way worse than what you ever did on your season that now looking back on your stuff, it's just like, I can't believe people were outraged at anything Olivia Caridi did on her season. But at the time, I understand. I mean, at the time it was a bigger deal to people. Now I think all those people who criticized you and messaged you and called you names, I think now if they look back on it, they'd be like, Jesus, what an idiot I was for even contacting her and telling her how I felt.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, I've always said, I get it. Like when it's shoved down your throat, quite literally, like there was no getting away from me. You're seeing what you're given. You're forming an opinion based on what is in front of you. Like I understand, but certainly, yeah, like if you couldn't maybe form an opinion 2 years later of like, ooh, that now that I'm watching this, if I look, but then also like the thing about the Bachelor world, in my opinion, is that it's so fleeting, right? So like I would guarantee 90% of the Bachelor world, well, one, I also have largely disappeared, but like wouldn't even know who I am or like be able to think of one thing that I even did if they were, you know, questioned. So
yeah,
which is great. Honestly, stellar.
I mean, like I said, the news report ITM I remember, but like I said, that was just more funny than anything.
Yeah.
But there's just been
you know what's really has stuck. There was a girlfriend of mine who did watch my season, and she said the only thing I remember is your toes.
I don't know
the thing
toes?
About the girls saying that you have fat toes, and you being in the ITM and you lifting your foot up in the air and you being like, so what if I have fat toes? She's like, that's all I remember, the whole thing, because I was peeing laughing.
God, I don't even remember the fat toes.
Yeah,
I remember I remember cankles. I remember that conversation.
How could you do that? Yeah.
But I don't even. But I just remember cankles. But honestly, I don't even remember the context of it. Again, I've already forgotten. Like back in the day, I could probably recite it, but now I don't even remember the context of the
it's yeah. I mean, the Bachelor world is so fleeting, right? So it's it feels.
So
like,
what year was it again? What year did you film? 2015, 2016.
Filmed. 16 is when it aired. Yeah.
16 is when it aired. Okay. That's right. So, I mean, that's.
And then even like
on 9 years ago.
We did the what was that? The Where Are They Now thing or whatever.
During COVID, right?
That was probably 2021, maybe 20.
The one where Chris Harrison interviewed you and you went on that. No, that was during COVID because remember they had no programming.
Yeah, so it was either 2020 or 2021 probably. So, and that was also the last time, you know, first and last time anyone has seen me again since. So it's like, yeah, it's very fleeting.
Yeah, no,
that was a doozy.
It's a very fickle.
I'll never forget when you called me and said they're airing it again, and I literally was like, I'm leaving this earth. I'm done. I'm out of here. And then you're like, no, it's just one episode. And I was like, okay, that's better than.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they're airing the whole thing again. And I was like, oh, my life is over. Like, I'm done for. See you later. I have to relive all of this again. No way.
Yeah. So. No, thank God they didn't like. I mean, I think some people have told me there is a Bachelor channel on one of the streaming services. So I don't know if your season is airing on one of those other channons. I don't know.
Well,
I know there's
not airing because I'm not seeing any hate on my Instagram, but I will let you know if it comes through because then you'll know.
Yeah, that is true because if it was airing, somebody would contact you and say,
But now it's funny. Like if I ever get comments being like, "You suck," I'm like, you're 9 years late, babe. You're 9 years late.
Yeah, and probably like, what country is this airing in now? Because there's no way you're.
Yeah, come on now. Be on time. Be on time. I'm bored by you. We're well past this.
With that said, if they ever reached out to you for Bachelor in Paradise, would you go
like
on
now?
it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't think they'd reach out, but I'm just saying if it was ever.
No. Absolutely not.
Didn't they gauge your interest that time you filmed the "Where Are They Now" segment? Didn't they? Wasn't it kind of being thought about back then?
No, like what did Chris say? Like, there's always room for you on the beach, which is what he always says that. And I mean, after we filmed that segment, you know, they were reaching because they kept saying like, this is going to go really well for you. I think you're going to be really pleased with how it all looks and blah, blah, blah. Which, of course, I didn't believe because, remember, they did the same thing as the show was airing. They would call and they'd say, this episode isn't that bad. And then it would be like World War III. And I'd be like, what episode are you watching? Like, that was horrific. And so, but after the episode aired, like, I never heard anything from them again. So, like, they didn't follow up on that. But did they even do Paradise? I don't even know. I haven't.
No, because that was this summer. That was literally those episodes that Chris Harrison did from like his office and stuff.
Yeah.
That was to kill time before Claire's season started filming. She didn't start filming until July and it aired a couple months later. So yeah, because they normally would have had Claire filming from March to May, but March is right when the pandemic started. So they were filling that time and didn't. They never like
followed up on. I knew that was just like a little teaser, which that's great, fine, but no.
You know, you brought up that point about your producer or whoever was calling you every week saying, "Hey, don't worry, it's not going to be too bad," and you're like, you know, what are you watching?
What are you watching?
When you responded back to them, are like, "Are you kidding me? What are you watching?" What was their response in return to you? Like,
I don't even know.
What would they say when? Because I know you're not the only one who's probably called her producer and been like, "What the hell, man? This is looking terrible for me."
Truly, I'm not trying to get out of this question. I really don't even remember. All I remember is like I would get the call that's like, "Here's kind of what's happening this episode." Right. And I didn't watch the episodes.
Yeah.
So I would call my sister who was watching the episodes and I would say, here's what they said is going to happen. And then my sister would call me afterwards and she'd be like, that was not it at all. Like it was way worse. And so then I would text them and I would be like, stop. I think I don't remember what episode it was. But I think I said, stop calling me before episodes. Like, I'm done with these lies. It's not helping. Like, just stop. And I don't remember, like, in what order that was, but they did stop. And I don't know how I don't remember how they responded to the other, like, messages before that. But they did stop after I sent that one. Where I just said, like, this is a waste of my time. Like, what you're saying is not actually what's happening. So I'm just done with this. Like,
was there a part of you that didn't want to go to the tell-all that year? Were you allowed not to? Did you initially say no? And they're like, Olivia, you have to.
I mean, there was I didn't want to go. Of course not. But I knew I had no choice.
Well, did you? I mean, could you have just said, I'm not getting on the plane?
I mean, I suppose I could have. I didn't really fight it to a point where I could have known if that was an option. But
yeah.
I mean, certainly I didn't want to go. Like I was miserable and I didn't want to be there, but I knew I had no choice. I knew that I had to, and as I said, like I knew going into it, I felt, I mean, I knew there were a lot of things I did want to apologize for, but there were also a lot of things I felt I was owed an apology for that I had a feeling I was not going to get said apologies for. And I did not, which of course, it's frustrating. I knew it was going to be just a giant, like, I take all the heat. But in the end, like, I thought it was a really good episode for me. Like, in terms of how it could have gone, I thought it went really well. And so I'm glad I went. And I always recommend, like, for a villain, like, don't fight back. Just, like, kind of take it on the chin. Say you're sorry, even if you don't really, like, think you did anything wrong. Because, you know, I didn't really care how America took me, but I'm like, if you do care, that might be the way to go.
Yeah, I think a lot of these people, just like yourself at that time, you're young, you're naive, you don't know. You'd probably never received a lot of hate in your life, especially a lot of online hate before. And all of a sudden you're getting bombarded by people who have opinions, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
I had never experienced anything like that in my life. So I was like, I don't even know how to do this. And I was not trained to handle it. Like, so yeah, I just said, I'm going to sit there and shut up and let everyone come at me. And I did not argue anyone. I just let everyone attack. I said,
Yeah.
And in the end, I think it worked. Cause then, like, it kind of looked like a bunch of people, and I was just like, and I think in the end, it kind of helped me in a way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is stuff that you and I have talked about over the years, and it's been interesting, the evolution, quote unquote, of a villain on this show, because 2016, I'm not saying Instagram wasn't around, but as bad as you got it, I think social media has gotten worse since then. And the contestants since then are getting it even more, because I want to say, do you remember, did you have an Instagram account in 2016? Was it more on Twitter that you were getting? Do you remember where were people just emailing you?
So I followed the rules and, like, deleted Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember it was like you're supposed to deactivate, or I deactivated. Yeah, sorry, wrong word.
Yeah.
So when all the, like, my first post was like my joke that I made, where it was like my friend kayaked out to save me on the island, and, like, I was eating fish with my hands and stuff. Like, that was my first post. So, like, luckily, I guess, in a way, all the hate came, like, later on. So it was really Twitter where it was horrific. Like, Twitter was awful. But I will say, I was super happy that like, TikTok did not exist, because TikTok, I feel like, is the scary one now.
They would have created memes, I would think.
Oh, I mean, the videos that would have come out of because like, there were memes, obviously, of me with the mouth and all that stuff, but, like, the short form videos that would have come.
And
the comment sections of a lot of comments on TikTok, like, have me rolling laughing. I think TikTok is absolutely hilarious, but it can also get really brutal. So I'm just thank the lucky stars that did not exist when I was on the show. So
yeah, it's gotten as bad as it was for you. Like, it's gotten crazier, and you know, the thing is, I say it every season now. It's just like, I know ABC puts out something, you know, please be respectful of our contestants. It doesn't, that's not going to change anything. If trolls wants a troll, they're going to troll. They're not going to be like, you know what, maybe I shouldn't write this. They're all going to do it. It's never going to get easier being on this show. There's never not going to be hate flowing around the internet, as much as we want it to be. And as much as people put it out there to be like, hey, people, think before you write. These are real people with real feelings. The same stuff happens every season. I've been covering it.
And every show too. I mean, like, I'm watching, what's it called? Oh my God, come back to me, Liv.
Ultimatum?
Yes. Thank you. Yes. I'm watching that, and all of them are on TikTok posting, like, we're your real people. Blah, blah, blah. So it's everywhere, you know, and I do think this is a better question for you, but, like, the viewership, I think the Bachelor viewership has gone down a ton, but I still think it's brutal out there. So I feel
it's just different. It's different times than what it was.
Right.
And then Netflix can get away with Love is Blind, and now you got Ultimatum, and these shows can get away with a lot more, and they obviously reach multiple countries. Bachelor is only shown in the U.S. It'll get it's shown in other countries, but some are on delay,
right?
And it's just kind of Netflix. My gosh, going on one of those shows, you're getting hate from people in France. It's just I cannot imagine. And I do. I've kind of changed things up in my coverage of the show, and all I care about really now is the spoilers. Just give me the spoilers. Let me help you guide your way through the season, know who's going home, what episode. If I find out any, behind the scenes stuff, I'll let you know, but
I'm still thrilled every time.
Yeah. I don't really recap anymore. The other thing is, when I was doing recaps back in the day, it was just, there wasn't social media where people were live tweeting the show. So it's just like, even if I had my recap out first thing the next morning, you've already heard 1,000 people give their opinions on what they were watching on the show last night. So it's just not as important. So it's just like, well, what can I give them to make me relevant? And that's spoilers, because season in and season out, it just, nobody else has been able to do it. So I'm just like, this is what I'll give you, but I'm not going to sit here and do a 5-page recap like I used to do every Tuesday morning. Like, here it is. And nobody wants to read anymore. Like,
I meant to put on my Spoiled by Reality Steve sweatshirt.
Oh, that's right. You have one. I forgot about that.
I thought about that. Oh,
that's all right.
Sorry. I thought about doing that. No, I was on a call this morning. I work with my best friend, so sometimes on calls we end up diverting to different things. And I was like, I have a podcast today with Reality Steve. She's not as big into reality TV, so she's like, oh, is that the guy that does Dumois? I was like, no. No.
That's funny.
But I said, oh no, he spoils the Bachelor world. And she goes, well, how does he do that? And I said, I could get him so drunk and he would not tell me. I do not know. Yeah. I do not know. I've tried.
The thing is, I think a lot of people, they want to know, but it's just like, does it really matter? All you care about really is the end result. Hey, who did Grant pick? Who did Jen pick? Let us know that. Does it really matter where it came from? I don't think so. No. I know the final two. That's where I'm at right now. I don't know who he picked. I'm assuming he's engaged. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I've always thought that was funny that people are just like, where does he get his stuff from? I'm like, honestly, I don't think you truly deep down care. You just want to know what it is.
I just want to know because I just am annoying.
Yeah. I've shared stuff with you in the past of stuff that I've gotten in.
I do not know. I do not know. I do not know.
Yeah. What was the one thing that I told you about your season? Oh, I told you who told me you were on the show.
Yes. And I told my mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you're just like, and yeah, I mean, you were pissed?
Well, yeah. Everyone's like, what is it?
And it's just, and it's nobody, it's not like anybody famous or anything. Nobody would even know them.
No one
That's why it's like, that's why the other thing about the spoilers is it's like, if I told you, be like, okay, great, but who's that? Like, that's why I think it's so irrelevant.
Last one cast, first one spoiled. Like, what the hell? So stupid.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You were the first person I had said was on Ben Hagen's season.
And the last one cast. Come on.
You were last cast? I don't even know if I knew that.
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Because I only had a week.
You had a week?
Yeah.
Oh. Did you apply late or were given how did it work for you?
My mom and sister sent in the video for the overnight signing. I can't remember the timing, but they called me the next day. They flew me out like the day after that. And then they were like, I had the golden ticket or whatever they call it a couple days after that. And we started filming within like a week.
Oh.
Like, I'm pretty sure they already knew that Becca was going to be on and Amber and all that.
So you weren't there for that whole final casting weekend where they bring in like 50 women? It was after that. So you were
I was alone. They just I went into the offices in LA by myself, and they sat me down in front of a camera for like an entire day, and then they sent me back. They brought me to the IE. They were like, "Oh my god, blah 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 blah. We like y'all. You're so great." And then I flew back to Austin and found out, they were like, "Done. Get your shit. Let's go. Let's start."
Gotcha.
And then we started filming.
All right. I want to end with this. I know I've done this in the past with you, but it's been so many years. I might as well do it again. And some of these might be repeat questions. We're going to end with the rapid 10 here.
Oh, I love this.
And honestly, I stopped doing the rapid 10 probably 2 or 3 years ago. Like I used to do it for every guest. And then I just stopped it because I was like, I don't know why I stopped it. I just did. Now, I know that probably some of these questions I've asked you before, but it's been so many years. And
they could have changed. We're ever evolving people.
Yeah, new listeners and whatever. All right, first question. And we'll go through this pretty fast because I know you got to be out in a little bit. All right. The last movie or TV show you cried at?
Oh, my gosh. Cried. Oh, my gosh.
Outlander. No.
I haven't started the new season yet. Oh my gosh. I hate that this isn't rapid.
No, that's all right. Did you see Wicked?
No, I haven't yet. I'm trying to go.
Have you seen the play?
Yes.
You'll cry at the movie. 100%.
You know what? I cried. I went to see The Great Gatsby on Broadway like 2 weeks ago. And the voice of Jay Gatsby was this actor named, I think his name is Jeremy Jordan. I want to get his name right. He had the most unbelievable voice I have ever heard in my entire life, to the point where I was sitting in my chair and I just started crying. Like, like I see a lot of Broadway shows. I go to a lot of Broadway, and his voice, I have never heard anything like it before. Jeremy Jordan, you have the most beautiful voice I have ever heard. And it wasn't, I called it The Good Gatsby. The play itself, I was like, I'm very picky. So it was fine, but he saved the freaking day. He was incredible. So I cried at Jeremy Jordan's voice.
Okay. That counts.
Not a great answer.
Even though it wasn't a movie or a TV show, still counts.
I know. Sorry.
It was a performance. A performance. All right. Best Valentine's Day gift you ever received?
Only. It was actually the worst. I've only gotten one.
You've gotten one Valentine's Day gift your whole life?
I don't have many Valentines. The only one I've ever gotten, which was actually horrible, and we got in a huge fight afterwards. He brought me to Raising Cane's, which was we loved Raising Cane's. Like that was our.
I love Raising Cane's.
I love Raising Cane's.
Crinkle fries.
Great. One of our date nights, so it's like totally fine. It's college also. I've not had a Valentine since college. It's embarrassing. But he's like, close your eyes. And I was like, okay, something's gonna drop into my hands. And it turns out he got in line and bought me a Cane's t-shirt and then like put it in my hands. So then I looked like a Cane's employee, which is not bad, but he bought me merch from Cane's while we were at Cane's.
God, I thought you were going to say.
I think because I got him a gift, and I think he did not get me a gift, and so he like panicked and was like, "Oh my God, there's merch." And
I'm assuming you had given him his gift before you received
it. Before that, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So that is the only Valentine's gift I have ever got. That's the only one.
I thought you were going to say his Valentine's gift to me was I got the 3-box combo and he got double fries and no slaw.
I would at least prefer that. I mean, over like the afterthought getting in line merch. That was horrific. We got in a huge fight after that. I think we broke up soon after. I just like couldn't get past it. So
maybe this next question has already been answered. Okay, the angriest you've ever been in your life, was it that night where you're just like, you give me a fucking t-shirt?
The angriest.
The most upset. I don't know. Yell at whether it got you to a point of yelling, cursing someone out. I don't know, but just most upset you've ever been.
I mean, I went through a breakup in April, and I would say that the night of the breakup, he's a lunatic. He's a lunatic, and I was very upset. And that's all. Like, he's, yeah.
You found out that night he was a lunatic?
I mean, I saw the signs.
Okay.
No, he's a lying alcoholic who like sadly drank too much one night, and then the whole ruse just like the waterfall came a falling, and it was I was pissed off. I was pissed off at everything, and I was pissed. Yeah.
You ended it with him?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was ended when he called me a dog, and
a dog? Why'd he call you a dog?
Because he's a lunatic. Yeah. Yeah. So
Jesus.
I didn't have to end anything.
That's literally what that's literally what we would call girls we weren't attracted to in like 5th grade. She's a dog.
He called me a weak effing dog.
What?
Yeah.
All right. I'd love to dive into that. I don't know what
we can dive in at a separate time, but that to answer your question is the angriest I have ever been. Yes.
All right. Are you good at math?
No.
Oh.
Terrible. Okay. Horrible.
Well, I was gonna say, like I just had like a basic math question.
But you can like, try.
If I were to like verbally say without you doing it on your hand or getting out a calculator
in front of me, I'll have to
you would need paper. So if I told you 386 plus 562, you wouldn't be able to. Could you do that in your head?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
but I can do it on this piece of paper for you.
Yeah.
Give me a moment.
I would hope so. It's basic. Yeah. Fingers.
948.
Correct. But you didn't write anything down. You did it. Oh, you did write it down. Oh.
Well, you can't.
It's too bright. But okay, I didn't see you writing it down. I thought you were doing it in your head because you were doing it with your fingers.
Nope, yeah. Right there.
Here's my so 386 plus 562. For me, I love math. I love shit like this. I would just do 562 plus 400, which is easy. 962 and you minus 14. 948. Okay. That's the easiest way to do it in your head. Yeah. Just basically you round it up to the nearest like round number, because it's very easy to say, if I were to have told you, let's 586 plus 400, would you have been able to just go, oh, that's 986? No. Oh, you wouldn't have been able to do that. Okay. Well, then.
So you might know this because you're in Texas, but there's like the Texas assessment of knowledge and skills, which is what I think like middle schoolers have to take to like
they do?
Move on or maybe it's what elementary schoolers have to take to move on to middle school or something. There's a certain test to get somewhere. Like I failed it like 3 times, which it's like 2 plus 2 kind of shit. And I failed it 3 times and I had to be put into like a special class like that. I cannot do math. And from elementary on, like it was early days. It was like, this girl is going to have a little trouble in this department.
Are you a cooker?
Yes.
What's your best dish that you cook?
Well, so here's the problem. I have lost 16 pounds and I'm very excited about it, but I've done so because I eat like a bodybuilder. So like cooking for myself is not super exciting because it's just chicken, broccoli, and sweet potato every day. I literally have it in front of me right now. But if I'm having like a fun day, or if I was like cooking for a date or something, oh gosh, I make a really good veal parmesan. Oh gosh, I do. Well, it's a lot of Italian.
Yeah.
But veal parmesan. I love to make fish, like any kind of fish with, like Brussels sprouts, things like that.
Wouldn't that be part of this meal plan that you're on now?
Yeah, it's kind of boring because like probably it's all pretty clean.
Yeah.
So it's not like fun, like salmon and green beans with like caramelized onion. Like it's, but that's my stuff. Like I like to eat. I keep it pretty clean. So
how long ago did this start? How long has it taken you to drop these 16 pounds?
It's been about, well, it was kind of like it started at my sister's wedding, which was like a year and a half ago. And then I've just been pushing like super, super hard. I basically wanted to like hit my goal by the end of 2024. So in the last like 6 months, I've been pushing super hard to hit my goals.
Are you doing like Pilates, Pure Bar stuff? Are you doing physical activity or just eating better?
Just pickle, and then like I pickle 4 times a week, and then on the days I'm not pickling, I'm at the gym, just like lifting really heavy, which I've always loved to do. Like in college, I did the whole bodybuilding thing and was lifting super heavy. Like, thank God I was doing that before The Bachelor because my body looked insane on The Bachelor, which was really good. But yeah, like I love to cook, but 1, it's not as fun to cook for just myself. And 2, I'm keeping it like super clean right now. So it's not as fun.
I know I probably asked you this one, but you'll have to repeat it. Yeah. Your celebrity crushes, male and female.
Oh,
for male, is it still the dude from The Outlander for male?
Not as much anymore. Not as much anymore.
Not him. Okay.
Who is my celebrity crush? Okay, female. Who do I love right now? I always just think of like right now. I fall in love with characters. That's the problem. I don't love them as much in real life, but I fall in love with people's like characters. I think my female is Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay. Yeah.
Freaking love her. And then my male is.
There's so many. There's so many guys.
Oh my God. I know mine. Duh. Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
Do you have a most embarrassing moment?
The entirety of The Bachelor.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even think about that, but
just the whole thing. You can just wrap it up in a bow.
Okay.
That's the whole thing.
Here's one. What is your worst first date story?
First date. So here's my issue. For dates. And I was on a first date last week with this guy, and we talked about first dates. Like, I am very good at like not forcing. I can create chemistry with literally anyone. So I don't have many like bad first dates, if that makes sense. Like I will feel like, oh gosh, there's no chemistry with this person, and I'll still be like, all right, let's just friggin' like get something going here. And you know what I mean? I mean, I told him like my disaster dating story, but I've never had that like horrible first date where like, I don't know, like he was ripping Coke in the bathroom or something. Like I don't have.
That's extreme.
Usually it's just like we go for 2 drinks and like we never speak again or whatever. Like
you've never had a guy like nonstop talking about himself, how much money he makes.
Honestly,
you never had a guy that was just like, all right, push the bill to you, or
no. I've
really
no. Everyone
I just feel like everybody has
always paid. I mean, certainly like people have been boring. They've talked about themselves too much, but I'm fine with that because then I'm like, I mean, there was one guy who like didn't talk at all, and I was like, are you really introverted? Like, what's your sitch? And he was like, yeah, I'm definitely like a listener. And I said, okay, well, I'm not this much of a talker. Like, I'm a talker, but I feel like I'm exhausting you. I'm exhausted by how much I'm talking right now. But if I don't talk, then like we're just sitting in silence, and it's like very strange. Yeah. But like it wasn't horrible. I have a horrible dating story, but not like I can make magic happen with like 0 sparks. Like I'll make something happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Which is actually toxic because then I can't really tell. Like, was he super boring and I had to like make something happen, or like was the conversation actually interesting? Like sometimes it's hard to know.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like, especially with social media, and I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if are you on Threads at all? Not that many people.
I am on it, but I don't really like check it or post on it or anything.
Yeah. I only post when
I deleted
the stuff is up.
Twitter, like recently, which was hard.
To go to Blue Sky?
I did not. No. Oh. I'm just kind of off.
I just feel like people nowadays just always are posting about bad date stories, and that's what gave me that, especially on Threads. I don't know why it's taking.
I mean, I see them on TikTok all the time, and I'm like, how does this happen in the real world? Like, that's insane. But to be fair, like I do not go on many dates. I really don't. Like I mean, I did go on a date pretty recently with a guy who like I was really into him for like 3 hours. I was like, this guy is so cute. I'm so into him. Like chemistry was there, blah, blah, blah. And then like 20 minutes before the date ends, he just kind of like drops that he's non-monogamous. And I was like, what? Like, what? Why is you're burying the lead here? Like, why are we here? Yeah. Like, why is that not the first thing on your dating profile? Yeah. Because like, I'm not looking for that. But that doesn't make him a bad person. It's just we're not aligned. Sure. But certainly I felt like that was disappointing for a Friday night to like someone for 3 hours and then find out that he wants to date everyone under the sun.
So is it true what they say? I mean, everyone says this seems to be for their city, that like, New York is the worst place to date it's the worst dating. Like I hear that all the time, but it's like,
New York is the best and the worst place. Like New York is fantastic for dating. Like if you want to go on a date a night, you can do it here. Like it is incredible. If you're looking for like commitment and settling down, not the best place. Like, because that's what I'm looking for. And it's definitely harder to find those people, right, that are looking for, because it's like that, the paradox of choice of like, there's so many beautiful people here and everyone is like hustling and making money and blah, blah, blah. And it really is like the grass is always greener. And you feel like if someone's not assuming that there's someone better around the corner, then they're just like so busy with work that it's hard to like get in a rhythm, because you'll go on a date and then you won't see him for 2 weeks or whatever. So it's like New York is the best and the worst place to date. And that is,
or they want to be non-monogamous.
And I'm like, then put it on your profile, babe, so I don't waste 3 hours of a Friday. Thank you.
All right, final question.
Yes.
If there could be a reality TV show that you would want to go on,
I know already.
What would it be?
Love Island.
You'd want to go on another dating one? I figured you would choose something else.
Love freaking Island. I love Love Island. I would jump at the opportunity to
Which one? UK or US?
Honestly, like, it's funny because I would have said UK up until the last season of US. Like, because US kind of was like a little bit of a flop for the first, I don't know what number of season. The last season with Serena and Cordell and Janae and all them. Yeah. But then like that season was it just skyrocketed. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I would do. But like, I love UK. I have a VPN so that I can watch it. And I have all the little sayings like, can I chat to you? Like, I love it. So
I stopped watching Love Island once it went to streaming. When it was on CBS during the summer, those first 2 seasons, oh yeah, I was into it.
Yeah.
But then it went to streaming and I'm like, well, I'm out. I don't know why.
I mean, the only thing I don't love, obviously, is the thought of like having to wear a bikini all the time because like insecure. But like what I love about it is like what I didn't like about The Bachelor and what I assume I wouldn't probably also like about Paradise, even though you probably get more time with said person, but I still think there's like a lot of.
Well, you also have more options, at least in Paradise. You know, Bachelor, you literally have one guy that you have to focus on. At least, I know what you're going to say about Love Island. Just the fact that you have new people coming in, if you're not vibing with somebody.
But I truly like, and I could be totally wrong here, I'm just assuming, but like number one, it really does seem like you can be with a person like 24 hours a day if you really wanted. But it also really does seem like there isn't a ton of like manipulation happening. I could be wrong, obviously, but it does seem a bit more organic. Whereas to me, Paradise, while it does seem like you can spend as much time with a person as you want, I still feel like as I'm watching that there's like little bits of manipulations happening in there. So
for sure. And you know, Love Island is live. I mean, they literally turn it around. I think what we're watching is only 2 days behind, whereas
I mean, it's
The Bachelor
I think it's like one. I mean, I don't know, but I love the length of what is it, like 6 weeks? Like that to me is like the perfect sauce, and like it has worked for people before. I mean, in the UK, it's worked. In the US, I mean, all of the couples I think that were the top 3 are still together. So I don't know. I would love to do Love Island. I think it would be so much fun. So
interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that ends the rapid 10. Congratulations. You got through it. You got through it again. So yeah, let's, I know you got to run here, but Olivia, thank you so much again for coming on. It's been too long. We will certainly be in touch, but again, thanks again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Love it.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.